Hey, yo, what up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? Long time no see, no hear. Hope everybody been doing well out there. Wanted to give a bonus live stream of this Black Knight's life. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to Scorch Earth Incorporated. Got a lot of things going on over there. Make sure y'all check out that particular channel when you get a chance, where I'll talk more on this Black Knight's life. Yes, like the video, y'all. Good to see you once again, Mike. Yeah, I'm on the replay. I'll put the link to Scorch Earth Incorporated. I think I'll put that in the description section. No, I'll put that in the make that a pin section. Make that a pin comment in the comment section. That's what I'll do. Hey, I see you, Brown Life. Good to see you once again, fam. Yeah, it should be a good, interesting live stream tonight. Just trying to get my little sippy sip on. Yeah, just trying to chill tonight. Hope y'all been having a good one. I know it's been a while since I've been live over here, but I'll be back. Y'all know me. I'll be back. So, been busy. Hope y'all been having a good year so far. Been just making a lot of changes in my personal life, trying to get healthier, especially out here. So I guess that's something that we could talk about in regards to a Black Knight's life. Staying healthy. I mean, I think that's real important. It's very important. Yeah, you see me cracking open a can, actually mixing a little bit here and there. Doing my little mix. A little bit of a margarita, Jose Cuervo, a little bit of a Sprite. Just chilling. Yeah. But let's talk. So, being healthy. Yes, health is wealth. So in a Black Knight's life, y'all see these fighting movies where y'all see dudes fighting all the time. But in real life, you got to have a lot of endurance just to fight. That's why, like with boxers, before they actually go and box somebody, they have to literally train. They need months of training just so they can be ready for the next boxing match. They have to literally be ready to go. So they need months to get in shape, to get in that fitness, get in that peak condition, so that they'll literally be ready to fight. So, but before I get off into that, I like to just talk off the top of my head about stuff. So I want to say some things before I forget. So, you see the thumbnail of Batman himself, how I believe he's part of a Black Knight's life. This has nothing to do with the Dark Knight. Batman represents a good example of a Black Knight, not necessarily Dark Knight, but even just talking about a Black Knight. And I'm pretty sure everybody can come up with their examples of how they feel like Batman is a good example of a Black Knight. Okay. But let's just say if Batman was in the same room as Iron Man, how do y'all think that'd go? Let me know in the comment section below if you want to. I'm just wondering how that conversation would be like, because Batman obviously is more introverted than Iron Man, but they're both smart, right? They both be coming up with all different type of contraptions and suits, and both for billionaires, right? So for those who don't know, hip you in on some comic book 101. Batman, his name is Bruce Wayne. Iron Man, his name is uh, Tony Stark. There you go. Had to make sure I remembered his name. So hey, there you go. I got the trivia right. Y'all ain't finna embarrass me out here. Oh no, oh no. But yeah, imagine if Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark were in the same building talking. That'd be interesting. Now, do y'all think that Iron Man is more like Black Knight? I don't think so. I don't think he really is fitting that idea of a Black Knight. But it's funny when you think about it. If you think about the armor of Iron Man versus the armor of a Batman, which one? Iron Man kind of has more of a White Knight armor. Ooh, did I say that? Yes, I said it. Black, and then Batman has more of what you would call a Black Knight armor. There's a lot to be said about this. Y'all let me know. I'm just talking. It's just my own opinion right now. I want to know what y'all think about the whole Iron Man and Black Knight conversation to add to this whole Batman and Black Knight conversation. Okay. Um, but I also thought about this too about Batman. There's this new character out there called the Batman Who Laughs, and I bring that up in regards to a Black Knight's life bonus is because with the character of Batman, despite him being dark in character, he has still a lot of morality. He has his morals. He's still upright as a man, despite him being dark with it, right? And he's amongst the darkness of other people, other individuals, other all these other villains that are truly dark in nature. Whereas Batman eventually got into a realm of darkness based on some personal things that happened to him. So that makes me think like with Batman becoming a Batman Who Laughs, that was just a side character of Batman in another universe. Apparently, he got caught up with the Joker after he killed the Joker, but Joker let out poison gas, kind of like some bugs. You step on a bug while once you step on it, it'll let out a certain type of gas, right? So apparently the Joker did that. He let out a certain type of gas on Batman when Batman killed him in another universe. But this gas got into Batman, and then he became the Batman Who Laughs, which is a mixture of Batman and Joker. It's pretty much like probably the most evil version of Batman that we can get. Basically, what would Batman be like if he lost his mind, right? But I say this to say that as a Black Knight, you got to avoid becoming like the Batman Who Laughs. Becoming a Batman that lose your mind, because everybody knows that you have to still keep yourself upright despite being in these dark places. But you can't lose your mind in this dark place. People want to see you lose your mind. They want to see you out of it. They want to see you feeling brokenhearted. They want to see you feeling down for whatever reason, whether they reject you, whether they leave you, whether they just didn't want to be around you, whether the job didn't hire you, whether you couldn't get that certain car, whether you couldn't get that certain home, whether you couldn't have those certain friends, whether your church didn't understand you because you grew up in a church, or maybe you just fellowship at that church right now as an adult. All these play a factor, right? Maybe you didn't get an approval on a certain thing, like there's a lot of things that were important for you, certain bills you had to pay. Maybe you still deal with people trying to ridicule you for no reason. You're dealing with the uphills of life, you know. The uphills of life can seem like the hells of life at times, right? All these things can make you lose your mind. But see, you don't want to become like that as a Black Knight, despite how tough it is. You see that the real Batman, no matter if they try to develop a side arc character of Batman, like the real Batman held his ground. He didn't lose his mind. He didn't let things make him lose his mind. He always had like a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E, and F, you know. But more so than those plans was his reserve, was his resolve and his reserve. His resolve and his reserve, if that makes sense. Um, that's what gets him through to not lose his mind, is because he still has that clear mind from whatever life is supposed to be. That's the way he continues to make his life. Like, let's say, you being a football player, right? But you're gonna have this off season. In the off season, you're gonna gain a lot of your weight back. Then you're gonna have to try to get back in shape, and that can be an uphill battle. In Batman's mind, basically, he stays fit. He doesn't let no off season get to him. To him, there really is no off season, but sometimes you can be off that season, right? Like taking a few days off. And maybe there's times for him to chill. That's just the way, like a man should be. You should be having some downtime. We all got to grind out here, but you got to have some downtime. But that shouldn't make you get off your square. That doesn't make you off season. You just off that season, right? Okay. And that way you stay fit, because it's hard when you kind of get out of tune with what you need to be doing in life, and then you got this uphill battle. You just got to stay focused on whatever. You got to stay focused on whatever your vision is in life, right? And that'll help you get through. That'll help you keep it moving. So a Black Knight's life is really evolved around keeping things simple. Some people might say he's delusional, right? Some people might even say he's a narcissist. He's not a narcissist. He's holding on to what is his and what is dear to him. You know, there's nothing wrong with holding on to what's dear to you, and that everything that evolves around that will, fall in its proper place. I don't see anything narcissistic about that. For Batman, that's important because he sees how a lot of people probably in his lifetime didn't fall through for him. So he had to develop this bat cave. He had to develop his own way of living despite being this billionaire. He had to really think about, how is my life going to be even when I don't have people around me? How will I still make it through? So you had to come up with what that plan B, that plan C, that plan D, that plan E and F. That's really the whole aspect of what made Batman so great. Amongst all the mutants in the Justice League that he had to be amongst. Like, Batman was the only non-mutant amongst the Justice League. How? Because he had such a great mind to think things through, or to not think about it as much, because he was totally confident in what he could do, right? So that helped him to get through and not get so caught up in losing his mind. So that's the thing, it's very important that out here you just stay confident in what you've been doing. And that'll help you get through. Like I said before, I don't see confidence as really this thing that you boast and brag about. It's the glue that keeps you together, even in the hard times. That's literally what confidence is for me. I don't know about you all, but that's what it is for me. I think that's very important because this archetype of a Black Knight, you can really listen to a lot of things Batman say and really think about, hey, this is not like what a white knight would be like. Like, just look at the title at the bottom of the screen where it says, Gotham isn't my city. Okay. And that's just simply because, if you're a Black Knight, you wouldn't want to claim Gotham City as your city. You see the way it is, you see how pitiful it is. You don't want to be a part of that. Even if you're living in the city, you're not really of the city. You find ways to get out of the city as much as possible. You find ways to venture into other places as much as possible, because you see in the city of Gotham City, there's no hope there. You've tried to give it hope, but there's too much despair, right? And so a lot of that can be said about the city. That can be said about a lot of the feminine out here. That can be said about a lot of the masculine out here. If you're trying to have some sense of brotherhood with guys, you just don't give that too much of your time and energy, because those things are mostly low vibrational. You only give things time and your energy if you see it as high vibrational and it is reciprocal amongst those things and those people. Okay. So you got to check the vibes, do the vibe checks on everything and everybody in every place. I tell you that right now, because this is how I realized if I was Batman, I would say that Gotham is not my city. No, Gotham City, not for me, because it's a low vibrational place where they don't give the hero any credit. They will still vilify you. They will still try to criminalize you, scrutinize you, give you all type of animosity. Yet you're trying to come there to do some good. See, in the days to come, despite you being a gentleman, you don't want to be the vigilante. You don't want to do it. You see things as they are. You try to be kind to people as much as you can. If they don't accept, respect, or appreciate that kindness, you keep it moving. You don't waste any time on that, because all this time you're trying to do right, they're looking for more things to say that you're doing wrong. Okay. So do that one kind deed. They don't recognize it. Keep it moving. It's like, for example, you could be like, I've done some public transportation, right? So let's say you had a passenger and you doing all the right things, but they still complain because maybe there's a certain way you do those right things that they don't agree to. So you try to make the situation better, maybe trying to explain to them things, or even trying to be at their assistance if there's something that you can do to make the situation or experience better for them. But you're actually just making the situation worse, because they're now looking at other things that they'll complain about. They'll look at other things to be upset at you about. So sometimes it's good just to kind of say less and do less. Let a person be mad, let a person have their distress. Sometimes the damsel in distress needs to remain in the distress, right? Nothing you could do about it. You even trying to go over to help her out the flames, it's not going to help her. She'll just accuse you of trying to approach her a certain way that she probably didn't agree with. So Yes, sometimes you just do not try to be the vigilante. Okay, they'll see you as the villain anyway. So you just keep it moving. If I were you all, I just would try to be less, do less in these times. Okay. I mean, I'm really giving a lot of information away as far as the life that's opposite of a white knight, because I've pretty much been this way most of my life, but I just don't technically or officially call myself a black knight. Maybe I'm just too humble for that, but I will say at least that not everybody's trying to be on that vibe of the Captain Saver, you know what, a Captain Saver 304. Not everybody's on that vibe. And even if you don't know how to get through it, you want nothing to do with it. So either way, you find a way to be more hands off with a lot of things that can't deal with your hands on, you know. And maybe it's too hot for you to put your hands on a lot of these different situations nowadays. It's become much hotter. It's become much harder to deal with. Okay. And that's something that, like in a Black Knight's life, one recognizes like some things just really you just can't deal with nowadays. Some people you just can't deal with nowadays because a lot of people, a lot of things are just now hotter and harder to deal with. Okay. So I say all that to say in just this very short period of time for this particular live stream as a bonus, by the way. Yeah, think more like Batman. I mean, even when they try to put up the distress signal, whether they text you or whether they, call you or the city tries to put up your bat signal in the air, sometimes you just can't care because you already know the results. Trying to do the same thing, expecting a different result leads to insanity. Whether you're trying to save the city, whether you're trying to show a female pity, right? Whether you're trying to be part of a certain committee, certain type of fellowship that you see is going nowhere. You're around a chick, you see she's not going anywhere. And she's not trying to go anywhere with you either. You just be hands off. You say, okay, you know what? This ain't working here. You know, you got to get around things and people that are moving places or they moving to places or they moved by you in that place, right? Something with motion, emotion, right? There's more demotion than emotion. Yes, I said it. So we got to get past that. We want to be around things with more emotion, not a lot of demotion going on, that we currently see. Because what we see a blockage of our true emotional connections taking place as we speak. So a man can't even operate as a man and being around a gal that's operating as a real woman. That's kind of the sad part. But at least I'd say as a Black Knight, always be prepared for that type of experience when it does present itself, because you don't want to just be out here full blown on, I'm just going to chill and I guess be on monk mode. Not that I'm not against monk mode, but I'm saying like you don't want to be just absolutely like that. Let some things be relative, because maybe amongst all of this scorch earth, this Gotham City, this goddamn city, this Gotham City, you might find a nice one out there, a nice gal out there who is trying to check on your vibe, that's trying to be part of what you about. I know it's hard to say, hard to see in this society. Everybody's thinking now about going overseas, not just so-called black guys, but even non-black guys. Everybody's thinking about getting that overseas passport. But I'd say this, right? I'd say, hey, just be you and be true. And you'll see who sticks around and who doesn't. But still, that's based on you and being true. That's all that matters. See, the life of a Black Knight is not really one of where there is a guarantee of certain things taking place. But one thing that is guaranteed is your peacefulness, regardless of what it takes. But not that I'm saying any means necessary, like you got to do things extreme. I'm not saying that, okay? So, um, now you look up the actual word of demotions, though. That just usually means like a reduction in rank or status. What would that have to do with emotions? Well, When you really have emotions for someone in a world where most people you can trust and be honest with, you do rank them high in your life, do you? You rank them very high in your life. You see them as a very important part of your fabric in who you are and what you're about. You connect with them. They're part of your thoughts, your dreams, your afterthoughts. They're part of your daydreams. They're part of what you aspire for in the future. And they're great memories that you think about in the past. Now, just imagine if one doesn't want to have an emotional connection with you, they just now want a demotion of those emotions. You got to now take them off the rank. You got to now work on getting them out of your memory. You got to now not have them as part of your future. See, ladies, that man had you as part of his future, and you chose to demote your emotions when you should have had emotions instead of demotions in that situation. And you wonder why things haven't been in motion for you to. Well, you don't have the emotions in it for the motions due to the demotion. So, uh, but the Black Knight understands this. He understands all this. He understands that not just with the feminine, but just in the way this world is operated. This world is using all their emotions for the Ethernet in the internet. Okay. So it's sad when we talk about even the Ethernet. Ether, I thought was I thought that was spiritual, right? The whole Ethernet. I thought that was spiritual. I thought, okay. So um, but it's funny, like when we do hear about ether, itself, there's a lot to be said about ether. Because, I even know about that song that Nas did, that ether song, right? That he did against Jay-Z, right? There's a lot to be said about this stuff. So, I mean, all I'm really just trying to say is like, this physics of what ether is, like you look it up, talks about a certain type of physics or chemistry or just the way things flow, the way things have a certain motion. Okay. And then we talk about this Ethernet. Um, that's where a lot of our motion is connected to the computer networks, our emotions, our ethers. It's all going towards this internet thing right now. It's not our emotion. We don't have a true emotional connection with each other. Like seeing a Black Knight can sense that. He can sense who's connecting and who's not, right? We're living in a world where man can't even express his emotion. He can't even show his scars. Fellas, I encourage you all not to hold in how you feel nor hide your scars. Be transparent. Because what you're going to find out is who appreciates your scars and who will actually try to scrutinize you for those scars, talk about you, say bad things about you based on the scars that you show, based on how you talk about your daily doings and struggles, if you will, what it takes to really be you. See, ladies, y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. Some girls see it as a struggle. They don't see it as that's what it takes for that man to be himself. You see this man, he's great before you, but he's sharing with you behind the scenes what it all takes for him to be that type of man every day. And he's supposed to be his support system for that, right? Now, with you ladies, vice versa, a guy sees you, he wants to see the iceberg part of you. So that underneath part, I want to get underneath the surface of what's going on with you. A man wants you to get behind the scenes with him. And ladies, you should be wanting the man to get under the surface with you. Okay. I'm just saying. So I think overall, like I've said before, like about the Black Knight, he represents the traditional man, the traditional quintessential gentleman. Okay. And that's been long lost. That quintessential gentleman, that traditional gentleman, that patriarchal type of man, that's been lost in this society. Gals seem to only like that type of man or that type of way with a man when it comes to sex. When that type of man embodies more than just sexual aspirations, there's more to that. Okay. He's more than that. He's more than just sex. So yeah, I guess in the future going forward, fellas, like, she can't just like your hero body, okay, the way your body looks. She has to like all the heroic things about you, not the whole heroic things about you, the heroic things. Like you're not being no hero to the hoe, to the 304. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna do that. But it's just a quick one. I just wanted to put this live stream out here real quick just to let people know I'm still out here trying to bump the algorithms up maybe a little bit more. But yeah, make sure that with this particular type of live stream, A Black Knight's Life, on the replay, click the link. The pinned comment in the comment section connects you to the channel that talks more about a black knife. Black knife. That channel talks more about a black knight, a black knight's life, and all things scorch earth. Okay. Because that's what we do over there. Kind of taking things a step further from what you've heard out here with the red pill conversations, the MGTOW conversations, trying to do things more, taking it beyond those conversations at Scorch Earth Incorporated. But yeah, I just went live over here talking about Black Knight because that's where it all started. It started here at this main channel. And I have to make sure it's based around a lot of this idea of the relationship conversations and family talks. But over at Scorch Earth Incorporated, I get more into the details and to the meat and to the sauce of a black knight's life and just all things Scorch Earth. Okay. But yeah, here, one more thing I'll leave y'all with before I roll out of here. I'd say this. I'd say this. And I've talked about this before with another content creator, but a lot of girls ain't gonna want a black knight. No, we both, me and the other content creator, Professor MGTOW. Shout out to Professor MGTOW. We talked about this. A lot of gals in the future are not gonna want a black knight. A man being a gentleman might be too much for some because he still harkens back to the old school patriarchal type of man. That type of man is good for sex, but nothing else because he's too much of whatever he is. And he wants me to do a lot for him, what has he done for me type of attitude about that type of man. But it's like, gals do a lot for these bums that, these so-called bad boys. But how come they can't do a lot for a certain type of a gentleman? Yeah, he's going to show you his love if you just actually be patient enough to listen and to actually go through this process, of how you can actually be the right one by his side. Like, you know, uh, the funny thing about Catwoman coming back to Batman so many times, she probably didn't agree with a lot of things about Batman, but there was so many polarizing things about his life and things that she can relate to that it made her keep coming back to him. But I'd say a lot of girls don't even have that insight of Catwoman, who probably could have been the most rebellious chick any guy could be around, but it was just something about Batman that kept bringing her back to him. And that's just simply, I believe, due to just him being who he is. Like I said, you just be you and be true. And Batman was real about who he was. He was straightforward about it. Didn't try to hide. He said, "This is me." Without him really talking about his Bruce Wayne side, he still projected a lot of us. He injected a lot of his personality into that Batman suit. And I think, fellas, when you walk out that door every day with your clothes on, you have to really embody this Black Knight essence. Like I offer this to the world as far as like this idea of being you, where you don't have to be like a white knight. And I say a lot of these so-called alpha channels, they're really teaching some guys how to be white knights. Some of these Sigma channels are doing that too. Like you really just want to be you. You don't want to be too caught up in all the pill logic, whether it's red pill, blue pill, black pill. I get it, but I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about the pills you take right now. I'm talking about just you. I think that's enough. Just be you right now. Be this black knight if you think this applies to you. whoever this is out there. Basically, the Black Knight is not trying to be like the White Knight. Everything you think about with the White Knight, think opposite of that for the most part when it comes to a Black Knight. And I say for the most part because with the Black Knight, there are some things that a White Knight can't even compare or contrast itself to. There's things that with the Black Knight, there are new things. Yeah, there are new things, right? So, but hopefully this live stream made sense to some. Maybe this live stream did not make sense to others, but to the others that this live stream made sense to, make sure that you hit that like button, especially for those listening to this on the replay. This your first time coming to this channel, you like my content, definitely more in store. So make sure that you subscribe, share this live, as well as my other content. If you go into my archives, aka my playlist, that consists of a lot of different topics that I add to those playlists on a regular basis, by the way. Definitely more in store. So stay tuned by hitting that notification bell so that you get all of my content in real time. And just know that it's only going to get better from here, no matter what it looks like out there. Even with those trying to have a Black Knight, aka Bruce Lee type, try to lose his mind. Just it's still going to get better out there, despite those that try to have you lose your mind, trying to have you like really thinking twice. You know, people do certain gaslighting, glass lighting, however way you want to call it. Like a lot of that went on with Batman, with a lot of the villains that he had to deal with. A lot of them really try to get at his core of emotions and his mind and his psyche, trying to really have him think about what he's doing, if he was doing things right or not, right? But Batman held on strong. He didn't let any of that get to him. And I encourage you all to do the same thing, because that's pretty much a Black Knight's life. That's what it's all about. And I say this whether you want to be a Black Knight or not. Yes, I say this whether you want to be a Black Knight or not. But otherwise, thanks a million, y'all, for stopping by. Much love. Catch y'all on the next one. I gotta hop back on to the mothership, and I'll come back at y'all. I'll be back. Warp speed, I'll be back. All right now.